You think the third eye is New Age? You've been told it's demonic, forbidden, dangerous. But what if I told you the Bible doesn't just mention spiritual sight? It gives you the exact method to activate it. And when you understand what the prophets actually did, everything you thought you knew about spiritual perception changes. Here's what they don't teach in church. The third eye isn't a Hindu invention. I know, that sounds controversial, but the Bible literally describes spiritual vision in detail. Multiple prophets, specific experiences, clear instructions. So why did an ancient biblical practice get labeled as New Age witchcraft? That's the real question. And these 3 biblical examples, they're the key to understanding how divine spiritual sight actually works. Let me show you. Example Hazon, Elisha's servant. 2 Kings chapter 6. The Syrian army surrounds the city. Elisha's servant wakes up, looks outside, panics. Enemy soldiers everywhere. Chariots, weapons. They're trapped. Here's where it gets interesting. Elisha doesn't panic. He prays. And listen to what he says. Lord, open his eyes so he may see. Not physical eyes. The servant's physical eyes were working fine. He could see the army perfectly. Elisha was talking about different eyes. The prayer gets answered. Suddenly, the servant sees what was always there, but invisible to physical sight. The entire mountain filled with horses and chariots of fire. A massive angelic army protecting them. Same location, same moment, 2 completely different realities visible. Now here's what nobody tells you about this miracle. Elisha didn't create the angelic army with his prayer. They were already there. The servant just couldn't see them. The prayer didn't change reality, it changed perception. Think about that. There's a dimension of reality operating right now that your physical eyes cannot access. And Elisha knew the key to perceiving it. And that pattern, it shows up in the next example even stronger. Example #2, Jacob's ladder. Genesis 28, Jacob sleeping in the wilderness, just a normal night, or so it seemed. He has a vision, a massive ladder stretching from earth to heaven, angels ascending and descending, constantly. God standing at the top, speaking, revealing, teaching. When Jacob wakes up, he says something crucial. Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. The Lord was already there. The angels were already traveling. The portal was already open. Jacob just couldn't see it until his spiritual perception activated. Now, before you think that's just a dream, here's the part that'll blow your mind. Jacob sets up a stone, names the place Bethel, house of God. He says, this is the gate of heaven. Not a gate, the gate. He discovered that specific location was a dimensional intersection, a place where the spiritual realm and physical realm overlap. And here's the pattern emerging. The spiritual dimension isn't separate from the physical. It's layered on top of it, interpenetrating, always present. Most people just can't see it. But the third example, this is where everything clicks into place. Example #3, eyes of understanding. Ephesians 1, verse 18, Paul prays for the believers. Listen to his exact words. The eyes of your understanding being enlightened. Not physical eyes of understanding. The Greek word is dianoia. It means the faculty of spiritual perception. Paul is describing an organ of perception that exists beyond the 5 senses. And he doesn't say, maybe you'll get this gift someday. He says it needs to be enlightened, activated, opened, which means it's already there, just dormant. Think about what that means. You weren't created with just 5 senses. You have a 6th sense, a spiritual perception faculty. As long as the intention is pure, the alignment is correct, the activation continues, even when you doubt yourself. So here's the question nobody wants to ask. If Elisha's servant could see angels, if Jacob could see dimensional portals, if Paul taught that everyone has eyes of understanding, then what does that mean about you? See, we've been taught that spiritual sight is for special people, prophets, mystics, the chosen ones. But every single one of these biblical examples shows the opposite. Elisha's servant wasn't a prophet. He was ordinary. He was scared. Jacob wasn't in a temple. He was sleeping on a rock in the wilderness. Paul wasn't writing to spiritual masters. He was writing to normal believers in Ephesus. And through them, the impossible became possible. The invisible became visible. The hidden realm opened. Here's what they don't want you knowing. You are not separate from spiritual sight. You never were. The same faculty that opened in Elisha's servant, it's in you right now. The question isn't, am I special enough? The question is, am I willing to activate what's already there? So how do you actually do this biblically? Here's the 3-step method the prophets used. Step 1, purify your intention. This isn't about power. It's not about impressing people. It's not about ego. Biblical spiritual sight only activates for divine purpose. Elisha prayed to help his servant overcome fear. Jacob received revelation for his destiny. Paul wanted believers to know their inheritance. Before you ask for spiritual eyes to open, ask yourself, why? If the answer is aligned with love, truth, and service, continue. Step 2, prayer of activation. Use Elisha's exact prayer as your template. Lord, open my eyes so I may see. Simple, direct, biblical. Say it with faith. Not begging, not doubt. Declaration. You're not asking for something foreign. You're activating what God already placed inside you. Do this daily, morning and night, for 40 days. Step 3, practice spiritual attention. This is the part most people miss. Having spiritual eyes means nothing if you never use them. Throughout your day, pause. Close your physical eyes briefly. Ask, what is present here that I cannot see physically? Don't force visions. Don't manufacture experiences. Just notice. You might sense a presence, feel an energy, know something you couldn't know logically. That's your spiritual perception, activating. The more you practice attention, the clearer it becomes. Those 3 steps aren't theory. They're a blueprint. Purify intention, activate through prayer, practice attention. Trust the process, trust your discernment. And when you start perceiving, test everything against scripture and love. You're not learning about prophets. You're remembering what you are. A spiritual being, created in God's image, with faculties beyond the physical. The 3rd eye isn't New Age. It's your birthright. Biblical, ancient, yours.